Hello guys, welcome back to BoreDraw, and we're continuing our coverage of all things Premier League prior to the season starting. Season starts, I believe, on August 11th or something like that. Man City versus Burnley, big game. But yeah, today we're talking about
the first game of the season.
First game of the season on Friday night, mate, under the lights at Turf Moor.
But fuck those two teams. We're talking about the biggest scumbag team in the league.
Yeah, the man with all the money and no sense. We're talking about Todd Bowley's Chelsea.
Bosh. What do they call them? It was like, I've seen their Twitter account, it was like the Blue Dodgers or something like that. So, yeah.
That's rough, mate.
This franchised American team.
Wow, what a season it was for Chelsea last year. What a disappointing season.
They finished 12th, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
Maybe 13th?
a season that showed so much promise going into it. You had Graham Potter. Oh, sorry, no, they started the season with bloody Thomas Tuchel, didn't they?
They had an absolute rollercoaster.
Oh, mate, it's so much. It just feels like it was like 3 seasons in one.
Yeah, literally.
You know, like Game of Thrones, where they try and like condense everything into one season.
Yeah, the last few seasons of Game of Thrones were shite.
Yeah, that's what happened to Chelsea.
Yeah, they had 3 seasons worth of drama
into
in
like,
one season. Yeah.
So Thomas Tuchel started. They signed a bunch of players. They signed Aubameyang to play under Thomas Tuchel. Aubameyang's like, yeah, mate, I can't wait to play under Thomas again. And then they fucking sacked him like the next day.
Barely shook hands. Yeah, he was out the door.
They lost to Dynamo Zagreb or something like that. Out the door, mate. In comes Graham Potter. Everyone's thinking, that's a good signing.
It's a good appointment.
Really
in terms of like a project.
Yeah.
It's one of the most exciting projects on the planet.
And I remember back, just give me some. I remember back to the podcast where we were saying, Chelsea fans, you've got to be patient. You've got to give him time. Did he last it to the end of the season? No, he didn't. Fuck
you weren't patient. You didn't listen to us at the BoreDraw HQ. And instead, you sacked him. What do? You fucking got Frank Lampard back, mate.
Oh, are you telling me, that Frank Lampard
reeks
done better than Graham Potter would have? No chance.
Mate, Frank, start learning Saudi, mate, because start learning Arabic.
You and
get yourself out to
they're gonna do the Gerrard versus Lampard derby in Saudi, mate. How far we have fallen.
Learn Arabic, buddy.
So, Chelsea last season were the big spenders.
Hey, big spender.
Can you finish 12 for me?
Earth.
But yeah.
They spent a lot.
Notable signings.
Kalidou Koulibaly.
Who's that? Do you remember Donny comment on a video saying he was like their best player?
Yeah, you know what? I love everybody that engages with our video. Whether you like it or not, football is a game of opinions, really. And
we slated Kalidou Koulibaly a little bit.
Shout out for getting involved in our videos. But if you're a wet Don that comments and you're so obviously wrong, I'm going to rinse you. And there's a Don that backed Kalidou Koulibaly in the comments against us. And fuck you, he's shit.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, Chelsea didn't know who their best keeper was.
He's gone to Saudi.
Yeah, they didn't know who their best keeper was. I thought they were going to call back Willy Caballero at some point. But yeah, Mykhailo Mudryk came onto the scene. Everyone thought his first game against Liverpool was actually quite...
It's a little bit electric.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I like this guy's got about it. Did you see him again? Fuck, did you see him, mate? He's back playing Chernobyl's finest.
Although, he did cook in the under-21 Euros for Ukraine.
Yeah, but that's a different level, isn't it?
Different level, indeed. Another signing that was kind of big, Raheem Sterling.
He wasn't the worst player for Chelsea.
Arguably, probably, of all those signings, maybe barring Enzo Fernandez, who we'll talk about, he was probably one of the best. Best signing being Enzo Fernandez. Kind of didn't really get a settled midfield around him. It was Mason Mount in and out of the team, Conor Gallagher in and out of the team, N'Golo Kante in and out of the team, Kovacic in and out of the team. Enzo Fernandez was probably the only good one in that team. And then, like we're talking about Koulibaly, that defence is a fucking shambles, mate. You got Reece James, who I think, unpopular opinion, might be done at the top level. I think he's
made many glass.
His legs are fucked, mate. He's injured more than he's not now. He's like, he's done at it. I know they signed Malo Gusto to kind of give him competition. I don't think he's going to be given him competition. I think Malo Gusto's going to play because he actually has working legs. And then left back, you got Chilwell, who's injured all season, so they signed Cucurella. Let He stunk up the gaff. Lewis Hall got a start because he was so bad. Lewis Hall was actually really good. And I think Lewis Hall, there's something there that Chelsea can build on. We were talking about in the Brighton video how they might not be able to secure the services of Levi Colwill for another season. So maybe Chelsea get him in. Who knows? But, yeah, I think Chelsea's defensive unit with the keepers, Mendy and Kepa being stinky, Koulibaly being shite, Badiashile in and out of the team, Thiago Silva being like 42 years old.
And still being their best player.
It's not looking good, bruv.
I mean, so, like, it just seemed like Chelsea's response to issues was throw money at it and hope it sticks.
100%.
I like the Enzo Fernandez signing. I think he's a really, really good player.
Yeah. I think if you ignore the 120 million, because I think this day and age, you actually just got to ignore transfer prices because they're all so tapped.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
it is.
Saudi
clubs are literally it is what it is.
Saudi clubs are paying willing to pay Jordan Henderson $700K a week.
Yeah, the game's well and truly gone.
Yeah,
so you can ignore that, and you've signed one of the best.
A great big reset one day?
It has to. Like someone's got to reset the button because, well, everyone thought it was going to happen, but now Saudi are getting involved. I actually can't see a reset because they've got endless money. So who knows?
So the oil runs out.
Come on, and then we're all living on beans or something.
Crickets, mate.
What have they done this season?
So for me, the big talking point of Chelsea's summer so far is the outgoings. We've just spoke about Saudi. Somehow they've got some good relations over there because they are flogging players.
Well, we spoke about that on a podcast, didn't we? About Chelsea and their link to Saudi Arabian
Kovacic
money.
has gone to City.
Kai Havertz to Arsenal.
Mason
Mount to Man United.
So that's three fairly big players.
Three of their Champions League winning squad. Three of their Champions League winning first teamers, all gone to rival teams.
Do you know who I think the best of them players was Kovacic?
Yeah, Kovacic is the best. He's gone for the cheapest to the best team.
Havertz has like the highest potential.
Ceiling, yeah.
And he's gone to the progressive team.
To
and
their like, rivals.
Who's
their star boy.
Has gone to like their other biggest rivals. Yeah.
So Chelsea fans, I know you've got endless money and you're doing signings and we'll talk about your incomings in a bit. I'd be worried about how like flagrant you are in terms of getting rid of your best assets to teams that you're competing with.
We spoke about in the Arsenal video how Arsenal are at a point where they're no longer rebuilding, they are strengthening. Chelsea are very much in the point of rebuilding, and the squad is so bloated.
Yeah.
They have 3 Premier League teams worth of players in that squad, and none of the players are playing for love nor money. Like you've got Aubameyang, who we didn't see for 6 months after he signed. What was the point of that? They've just signed Nicholas Jackson as well.
Nicholas Jackson.
Who's quite a young player.
Big Rom coming back.
Rom's coming back. I mean, they've got rid of... They've got rid of Loftus-Cheek, I think.
Loftus-Cheek,
Pulisic is going as well.
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi coming back. So you've got like
a very bloated squad. Like as much as you've done like decent outgoings,
Ziyech has gone. Sorry.
You've got players coming back. Azpilicueta's gone to Atletico Madrid. Zakaria, they've not renewed the loan.
What about Levi Colwill? He's coming back.
Yeah. So the squad is still bloated. As much as you've sold players to Saudi,
Mendy's gone,
to Arsenal,
Kante's gone,
United and City. You've still got a bloated squad.
But they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, you do need to cull that squad massively.
So they've obviously got these pre-agreements like for Nkunku.
Nkunku, I think, is going to be a huge player.
They're lucky with that because he's gonna absolutely cook for them. Good. He is good. And I think
that's why I wasn't like... You don't want to lose a star boy like Mason Mount, especially to a rival. But Mason Mount wouldn't get much game time at Chelsea in the role that he wants to. And for the contract that Mason Mount was asking for, and Nkunku's a better player. And so Chelsea, it's not great that they've let him go to Man United, but no one else was interested.
The thing for me, is that
Nkunku's better player.
In Nkunku's best position is that shadow striker role.
Yeah.
And they've literally just got rid of someone in Kai Havertz whose best position is the shadow striker role. They do the same role differently, but it is still the same role, and it's a position in football which doesn't really exist unless it's in very specific circumstances or systems. You don't really see shadow strikers. But you're talking about seeing Nkunku or is a number 8.
I think we haven't spoken enough about who their new manager actually is. Mauricio Pochettino, who
He's back.
I think is an interesting manager in the sense that I don't think he's done a lot of super top tier exciting things apart from build a Spurs team that was mediocre to top 3 in the Prem and then get them Champions League final. Apart from that, I don't think he's done much. But to do that, I think is what Chelsea need. They need right now. They've got a mediocre squad.
They need stability.
They need a manager that's smart enough, got the nous of the Prem to build that squad into a competing team, and that's what Pochettino do well. I think what he'll get out of Nkunku is what he got out of Dele Alli, that kind of shadow striker role. I'll be interested to see if Nicholas Jackson is going to be the Harry Kane in that situation, if Rom comes back and he's the Harry Kane, if they go out and sign. I've seen them potentially wanting to do that Ivan Toney deal, and maybe they get. I've seen them talk about Dusan Vlahovic, so maybe he's that guy. But I think one of those with Nkunku off that, and then wingers of Mudryk and Sterling, in my opinion, is actually kind of tasty. That's pretty much what it says here in our predicted lineup thing.
Let's talk about how Chelsea are going to line up in their first game next season against Liverpool.
That's a nice starting game. But yeah, let's start from the top. So whoever they get as striker, if it is Nicholas Jackson, who I think is an interesting signing, he's a big strong lad. I don't know if he's the finished article just yet, but he's a big strong lad, and maybe that is all you need when you've got someone like Nkunku who delivered
so many goals.
I think Nkunku delivered like 20 goals, 20 assists, or some fucked shit.
In
like
our
that
predicted
last
lineup, there are so many goals in the 5 behind him. That you don't need a striker who's going to score 20 goals.
Yeah,
you get a striker that scores 10 goals, and that you add them at midfield, you've got like 100 goals there.
So fucking 100 goals, let's go. But I think a unit of a striker, be it Jackson, or if they go upper level and get Vlahovic or Ivan Toney, and then Nkunku, who in that shadow striker role, if they finally get that role working, who they could have had Mount or Havertz play, but they've got Nkunku, who's probably right now a level up, he's going to get them 15 goals, 15 assists pretty easily, plus. And Sterling, if you get him cooking, Mudryk, they're on a similar kind of kilter. If you get both of those cooking, there's goals and assists there, but you need them to be cooking. I think under Pochettino, the stability, the Prem nous will help. Fernandes is a stalwart in that team. He's the first name on the team sheet every single time.
100%. Him and
Gallagher is the problem. I don't know if I rate Gallagher. I think he's got legs. I don't think he's good enough for any specific role. And we talk a lot about how if you're playing kind of like a deeper role in the Prem, you need to be good at like a specific thing.
I think I prefer Carney Chukwuemeka.
I don't think Gallagher's good enough for anything. He more is just legs. And fair enough. You need legs, especially in the Prem now more than ever.
His
legs
best season was his season at Palace, where he basically plays a 10.
Yeah,
he was like a deep lying 10 who arrived at the edge of the box at the right time every single time, and scored a lot of goals. But he's not playing like that for Chelsea. So like,
I don't know if Gallagher's that guy. Maybe they go out and obviously Caicedo is looking closer and closer.
If you've got if you've got Jackson,
it might even be done by the
Mudryk and Nkunku, Sterling, Fernandes, and Caicedo.
That's fucked. That's nice.
That's tasty.
That's Champions League.
100%.
So
and they don't have to worry about those.
Caicedo over the line. That's a nice forward line. We've got to talk about the back line because that's where, in my opinion, it's a bit wobbly.
I don't know.
Chilwell and Reece James, I think, are both done.
If they have an injury-free season, that is a top 3 left back, right back.
When was the last time both of them had an injury-free season?
Never.
Exactly. I think they're both done at the top level.
But you've got like you say, Malo Gusto,
good player, had a good season at Lyon, and then Cucurella.
Could Cucurella step in though in a team where he's not been asked to do it as much?
So maybe that'll be good. Fofana and Badiashile, I think in 5 years' time will be a good defensive unit.
I think Badiashile was really good for Chelsea last season.
I don't know if together right now. I don't know if I play them together. I maybe play Badiashile and Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva in there, yeah.
And then Kepa. Brother, it's your time to learn Arabic, mate.
He's like a showreel keeper, isn't he?
He's a mess.
Such a showreel keeper.
Just get himself to Saudi now.
They've gone from the days of Cech and Kudicini to this.
I'm trying to think if Chelsea are actually linked to any keepers. I know Man United are linked to Onana, and Chelsea were a little bit interested in him, but I think he's going Man United.
I feel like someone like Raya could be good for them.
Right,
Even
just
Sanchez,
someone that's got a good save percentage. Like Kepa is just he's got
seems
David
like
De
every
Gea
other
hands.
goal, every
Yeah,
other
yeah.
shot on target. Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting.
But I think going forward they've got a good team. If that defensive unit is nice and solid, I think Pochettino is the guy to get them back up the table.
It is what it is. Guys, let us know down below how you think Chelsea are going to fare this coming season. Who do they need to bring in order to climb back to the heights and challenge Arsenal, City, them man again?
Fuck Chelsea.
But yeah, fuck Chelsea. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Remember to hit that subscribe button. If you hate Chelsea, hit a like too. If you like Chelsea, you can hit a like or drop us a comment. Let us know who you think they should bring in, where they're going to finish next season. Who knows? It's all up in the air. But all I know is that they got Mauricio Pochettino. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been BoreDraw, and it's live.
Come on.